Welcome back to Frontline 2012. My name is Irama Kaitaidu, and this evening I'm here with Dr. Nduom of the Progressive People's Party. I wanted to talk to you about your track record a little bit. You have been Minister of State several times before. You have been Minister of Energy, and you have also been the Minister of Public Sector Reform.
Right.
Is that correct?
Right.
Yes. So I wanted to hear from that position, what was your biggest challenge?
Well, can I start from Assembly?
Okay.
Because that's where the biggest challenge came. Because as an elected Assembly member, we had a third of the Assembly members appointed by the President. And they rather control the Assembly. So those of us elected, whom the people will come and say, well, the garbage is not being collected, the lights are out. We were the ones struggling for help, okay, but getting no help. It's my biggest problem, and as the reason why I want the members of the Assembly, all of them, to be elected by the people, and also the district, municipal, metropolitan chief executive also to be elected. So for me, that's one big issue that was there. That
so let's jump forward in time to my question.
Yes.
When you're Minister of Public Sector Reform.
You know, public sector reform, energy, economic planning, if you put all of them together, the issue has to do with the strengthening of the public sector. Because if we have to modernize public sector institutions, modernize them with technology, modernize them with better training, modernize them with better supervision, and then arm them with the kind of motivation and facilities and money that is required. If we do that, a lot of the jobs that have to be done for the private sector to move,
so how do we get there? You have the visions. How do we get there?
You need a president who believes in it, who believes, as I do, that you must have a minister, a permanent minister for public service, who is there for continuous improvement. And it is the reason why I believe that I can run government with no more than 40 ministers. That if you do all of those things with proper technology, you motivate the people.
So remind Ghanaians, how many do we have currently?
Well, I don't know, but it definitely more than double my 40, okay? And so we really need to ensure that you are relying on a strong, qualified public service. That's what I want.
So let me ask you this. Of course, you're in this race to win, but of course in every election you have a winner and you have a loser.
Yes.
If you would not make it all the way, have you considered, again, taking up a ministerial post with one of the other parties?
Why would I want to be a minister? I've been an elected Assembly member. I've been a member of Parliament, been an ordinary minister, been a cabinet minister. And I believe that I have delivered to the satisfaction of many Ghanaians, because there are visible examples all over this country. And so where I need to be is to be the next president of the Republic of Ghana, compared to all of those people, some of whom have also been members of Parliament and have been ministers of state. So we're challenging them. Let them come and tell Ghanaians when they were there, what is it that they were able to do. At least I can say, if you talk single spine, I was there. If you talk the new pension law, I was there.
And that's why
National Identification
in the event
System.
I
was there.
Win, would you then consider helping out as a minister?
Well, I'm working to win. I know it's a challenge, but because of the track record, if you talk Millennium Challenge account money, Tetekwashi to Malam, good highway. If you talk all the people in the Gomoa area now developing pineapples, or in South Lugu and other areas with organic mangoes, all of those kinds of things give me hope that Ghanaians can recognize something good. And I believe that with the kind of party behind me and our parliamentary candidates and good people, that we are on course. We're on course to winning good votes from Ghanaians. And for me, I like competition. I recognize that there are two parties out there that have strength. So I have to measure up. And I know I have to run harder.
But I think the Ghanaian voters, they're also interested in which one you will sway. Would we go to a second round and you wouldn't be one of the two?
I can tell you that come December 7th, after the votes have been cast and counted, I will be standing there. And I will be inviting somebody to want to become a minority member in my administration, because I want to have an inclusive administration, just like I want an inclusive society, not just people being in government.
So which of the two parties would you then be willing to involve in your
whoever is left standing, okay, not part of the second round, I believe I have the ability and the experience. Having worked in an administration that was not from my party, I have gained the experience and the strength to involve other people. So I'll be inviting them. If it's an Akufo-Addo, I might even say, Nana, maybe this time around, become my running mate for the second round. If it is John Mahama, I will ask him, become
because
my
you've been a
running
minister
mate.
for MPP before, but you could also consider working with NDC.
That's why I'm saying that I will invite them to come and be part of my administration, because
in a recent
Ghana
interview,
must win.
You said you're suitable for the highest office of this country, as you, and I quote, have practical experience of job creation. Can you tell us about this?
Well, you know, everywhere in this country, particularly where other people don't want to go. Thankfully, my family and I, we've been able to create, directly and indirectly, over 20,000 jobs in all the 10 regions of the country. But what I'm happy about is it's in those places. Other people, you go to Wa, you go to Bolga, Yendi, Wolensi, you go to Hohoi, all in Praiso, places where many don't want to go. We've created jobs. And what is even for me, happy for me, is that over 250,000 people in this country, in all the 10 regions, are getting some sort of financial assistance from our companies. And whether it's loans of 500 Ghana cedis, 1,000 Ghana cedis, and so there's entrepreneurship development that is going on. I'm happy about that. But also, I have an organization, a company, that many of the bridges that you see, many of the roads that you see, many of the contractors building schools and so on and so forth, we are the ones they come to for pre-financing. I'm happy about that. So I am making my contribution.
It sounds like the business climate is very good in Ghana then. If a company can help building bridges and roads, we really need them to make it easier to start companies.
No, what I'm saying is that I'm making my sacrifices, and in tough times we are working and daring to go. And I'll repeat it, where other people don't want to go. Many people are taking their monies, they're taking them outside the country. They're keeping them safe, buying properties somewhere, and so on and so forth. I am risking my capital in my own country so that somebody's child, somebody's grandchild, somebody's brother or sister can have a job right here in this country. What I am looking for is opportunity for what I have done for 20,000 people, for 250,000 people. It can now be done to millions and millions of Ghanaians, because I have the track record and the experience. Nobody else in this race has this record. That's why I am confident that using the state's purchasing power and the raw materials that we have in this country, in every region of this country, we can help within 3 years create jobs so that in 6 years, anyone who comes out of any tertiary institution will have a job. Will have to just go to Tamale and the northern region. Groundnuts, they grow. We can come up with irrigation facilities that have been proven with the MCA program in Savlugu, Nantong, and other places, to have groundnuts grow in abundance and have factories that process them for cooking oil, so we don't keep importing them. That's just one example. Build a gold refinery so that these rings, we can make them here. Let someone else get a plane ride or a ship to come to Ghana, buy these things, instead of us going somewhere else to build them. The raw material is here. People keep talking about petrochemicals industry. Look, I've been to South Korea, which doesn't have crude oil. They built their refinery the same year we built the Temuo refinery. Theirs is 10 times the size as petrochemicals industry there. I know what to do. We will create petrochemicals industry in the western region, so the plastics, polyester, and so on and so forth, we will do them here. Our children will have jobs.
You said that you have sacrificed for Ghana, but I think you have also gained. You're a very successful businessman. You're a leader, you're a politician since more than 10 years. But who are you privately? How does your family know you?
Well, my family knows me as a quiet person. Some may not believe it, but I'm a quiet person.
Really?
I like the ordinary things. You come to my home, you won't find the sort of things. People think that I'll go and eat some whatever things from wherever. You give me red. You give me a basic fanti kenke and fried fish, and those kinds of things. I'm happy. In the morning, you give me a house of cocoa and whatever else. Both fruit.
Some Kwesi with it.
Well, both fruit. I'm happy. And it's the ordinary things, because that's where I come from. So the place I'm most happy. And you have been a parliamentarian
since 2004. What do the people in Komenda say about you?
Well, if you go there, you will find what I have left there. particularly libraries for the children. You will find many children who have gone to school, and some have become dentists and physicians because of scholarships that I gave them. You will find many other opportunities for cleaning up our town, which is now going backwards, which I don't like. And we need to put in a lot more effort to clean it back up again and then make it go a lot further. Because the Elmina that I was born into, it had gardens. Around the castle, it had really nice gardens with benches. You can sit. The lagoon was clean. You could actually have an inflatable raft in the lagoon. It was wonderful. I want us to go back to those days. But you need leaders who think positive. Leaders who say, what we have seen somewhere else, we can do right here in this country. I believe that Ghana can do many, many, many positive things with the right leadership, which is what the Progressive People's Party is promising, with competent, incorruptible leadership.
Okay, good. I wanted to talk a little bit more about your family. You're married to Mrs. Yvonne Nduom,
yes.
who's also a successful businesswoman. You have 4 children. How does your family view you being involved in politics? Are they excited for you?
Well, first of all, when you talk about my wife, I smile, because I believe that I've been twice lucky. Once lucky to be born by my parents, and twice lucky to have a woman such as her. We grew up in the same Elmina environment. She was born in Elmina, I was born in Elmina. She went to primary school there, I went to primary school there.
So did you know her from back in those times?
Well, I was a mass server. I'm a Catholic. We are both Catholics. I was a mass server. And she was in a boarding school as little children. So we saw them, running around. But it was in 1971 that we met. And we haven't looked back since.
And did you meet in Elmina?
We met in Elmina. Okay. So we went to Elmina on the way to church. And since then, it's been a happy union. And we've backed each other professionally.
And now 4 children.
And we have 4
and a grandchild, I believe.
Wonderful children who have done well, luckily and thankfully, because, if you achieve something, you hope that your children don't take it for granted. We have children who have listened, who have gone to school. One is a lawyer, one is a business person, one will just be coming out of medical school, the last one, the girl, will be coming out of medical school next year, and one who's a neurosurgeon. So they've done well.
You must be very proud.
Absolutely.
Do you think any of them will also venture into politics?
Well, that I don't know. Politics is a difficult animal. You must want to do it, because I'm walking around the streets in Elmina, and some little girl or little boy will say, "Hey, Indo, come." It's not easy to be doing those kinds of things, but it's public service, and I believe that eventually some of my children, not necessarily frontline politics, will want to give of themselves to the public, so that the blessings that they have received, they also give some back to Ghanaians, and I hope that is what they do.
Good. So I just had some of my small questions for you to end the program. So let's start with New York or Accra?
Elmina.
It wasn't even in my...
You asked me 10 times. It'll be Elmina.
And why is that?
Well, I'm comfortable. I'm an Elmina boy. No matter what you do, if I go and sit by the beach, I'm happy.
It is a beautiful place.
And as a result, if I go to Choco and I go and sit there and to watch the ocean, I'm also happy, because it's a kind of environment, it's a kind of people. I like their language.
Okay, let's take the next one. Aid or trade?
Definitely trade. Because you can't do it with aid. You must stand on your own 2 feet. That is why we want to use the state's purchasing power to support the Ghanaian businessman and woman to make it in this country.
High life or Asontu?
Oh, definitely old high life. And it's not just high life. Old high life. And if you didn't ask me what's my favorite song.
I didn't. So go ahead. Oh yes, I like that one too.
Aha.
It's a good song. I like
That's
it
right.
too. Coconut or Coke?
Oh, definitely coconut. It's healthier, it's natural, and it grows in abundance in our environment, and it's good for you.
Okay, so this is my last one. Red sun or black star?
Well, absolutely the bright red sun. It's up there. That's Progressive People's Party saying awake to Ghanaians.
Yeah, so this awake, what is it about?
Well, what we're saying is that Ghana has held promise for decades and decades. And so we've been sleeping. So it is time for us to be wide awake. Go to work. Make Ghana beautiful. Make Ghana work. Make this land prosperous. Make its people have good money in their pockets. If you say awake, we say yasor. If you say PPP, yasor. Now we say PPP. Ejumenyi, Sikenyi, Ahotenyi. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're selling.
Thank you for coming on to Frontline.